Hello, I'm young adult author Mary Gray of marygraybooks.com and now the newly formed Monster Ivy Publishing. And I want to talk to you today about something that's happened this week. Our Sweet Guillotine became available on Amazon. I kind of did it hush hush, letting my street team know that it was available, and they've been slowly finishing reading and adding their reviews on there as well as Goodreads. And it's been really fun to see what they had to say. They've had some differences of opinion, which is always neat, and they got something out of the book. Some of them enjoyed the atmosphere and the characters, and then they also had their own ideas of some things I could have done differently. So it's good, and I think that's why we read and we all enjoy art, because we're all looking for different things. So I want to invite anybody out there to go ahead and check it out. It's on Amazon. I've actually put in the order for the proof for the paperback. It should be coming next week, and then I'll put that will be available and next week, and the hard copy, hardcover will be available as well. Hopefully this next week, or actually it'll probably be a couple weeks after that. It'll be a little bit slower going through Ingram Spark. So I've learned a lot about formatting, just kind of getting to know these different websites and what they require. One of the neatest things that happened this week was seeing the full cover, not just the front, but the spine and the back copy that Dane did over at eBook Launch, and he did an amazing job. So he kind of looked into my mind, and he knew exactly what I wanted for that. So I'm really excited about the print copies when they're available. So feel free to look it up on Amazon. You can get the ebook now, or wait for hardcover or paperback. One of the other formats I absolutely love is audiobook. That's probably my favorite format right now, just because I love to multitask, listen to something while I'm working out or cleaning my house or driving. And with the Dollhouse Asylum being made available soon in audiobook, I've been thinking a lot about audiobook for Our Sweet Guillotine, and it's a little bit different because it's told by two protagonists, a girl and a boy. They're very different. The boy uses French phrases in his point of view, and so I would love to hire someone who could speak French with a proper accent, at least for his point of view. And along with that, a lot has been happening with audiobooks. I was listening to this podcast this last week with Joanna Penn, and the person she interviewed was talking about how there are actually like 36 different rights you can come up with for audiobooks, because there are different ways to interpret them. There's the simple, just one narrator reading the book straight without any background noises. And then there are a whole bunch of different combinations of adding background noises, more than one voice actor. And Our Sweet Guillotine is the type of story that I could see it a lot more than Dollhouse Asylum, because Dollhouse Asylum is more of a single person in her head type of story, and that worked for me. And so that's what I'm doing for that audiobook. But Our Sweet Guillotine, I've been wondering about, well, what if I do something that is a little bit more involved, a bigger production, where along with the two narrators, maybe I could have background noises that could build the atmosphere a little bit, because I have the French mobs in the execution square, or the Sans-Culotte army that chases Gabriel and Tempest down in the catacombs. And, I've written a couple songs in there, and it could be fun to have that type of, maybe some music in there. Or maybe that could be too much, and maybe that would take away from the reader's imagination and their experience. But in this last podcast, and I need to look up the man who gave the interview, who was interviewed by Joanna, but he was saying his opinion was in the next 7 years, he really thinks that most basic level will start to peel off, that there won't be as many people as interested in the simple one narrator read the story and that's all there is. He thinks that it will become more involved in a bigger production. And so if I sign exclusive with ACX, which is the company that is connected to Audible, then I basically hand over all my audio rights. Where if I maybe don't go exclusive, I take lower cut and royalties, but maybe do something a little more adventurous without tying up all those rights. Or maybe I could do a simple narration and then I could do another type. I don't know. I need to look more into that. But my question to you, viewers, is what do you prefer, and what do you see yourself liking in the future? Do you prefer the simple narration, let your imagination take you where it wants to go? Or do you think you would maybe enjoy audiobooks with more music, more atmosphere, maybe more voices? Do you listen to those types now? Do you see yourself doing that in the future? If you can let me know, I could find that really useful. And I just want to thank my street team for reading our sweet guillotine early and getting back to me and writing those reviews. It's been really fun. And if you're still reading, I look forward to what you write. And I love the honesty in those. That is, I think, you can't trade honesty for anything. And that's what I really want from my readers. I've toughened up. I've been doing this for a decade now, and I can take it. People can say exactly what they think, and that's how I'm going to grow as a writer. And I can either take it or I can leave it. And so I invite all readers to do that and to leave that review, because that's the only way I will ever get any notice in Amazon or elsewhere. So I just want to thank you all so much for watching. I had promised to talk more about Monster Ivy Publishing, and actually Cami and I did record another one, and then we decided to hold on to that information until the future, because we want to parse some things out. Some of the things that we've gone through will be a little bit funnier, I think, in hindsight, so we'll share that in the future. Anyway, I'm Mary Gray of MaryGrayBooks.com and on Monster Ivy Publishing. See you next week.